is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rally Point. I hope everybody is excited for this. We have a lot to go over. First of all, the whole reason behind the Rally Point tonight, one, we completely didn't do one this Sunday, which I don't know about you, but I absolutely missed. But sometimes you have to reschedule with people, and that's okay. It's a part of everything, right? Make sure you guys are sharing this stream. I want everybody to be a part of a Rally Point, okay? We're doing the 22 nonprofits in 22 days. I haven't done an interview in about, I think, 2 weeks. We're focusing our efforts on the Rally Point. But, you know, things change, and that's okay. That's life. But I promised you guys 22 nonprofits in 22 days. It might not be consecutive days, but we will get the 22 nonprofits in if it's the last thing I do. There's a lot of good coming out of this. Replying to Chris. Hope you're doing good, Lion. Didn't know you were sick. What's going on, Casey? Hey, Ray. How you doing? We have a great show for you guys tonight. It's going to be a little bit different just because, you know, this is an impromptu Rally Point. And usually with the Rally Point, I try to plan ahead for it. Tonight's just going to be a recap of, you know, the nonprofits and the work that they're doing. But not only that, I think we're going to go over, you know, when we come together for veterans, what magic can happen. What good can happen out of that. And I think that's the one big thing that I want to do tonight. But make sure you're sharing the live stream. We want to touch as many veterans as we can. We want them to be a part of our community. There's a big need for it. We have a good show for you tonight, guys. Let's go into the intro. First of all, Nick, that was rude. Tim's face is missing the rich brown. I think that's the biggest problem. But I'm pretty cute, to say so, if I do say so myself. No, but seriously, guys, you know, Lori Kendall shared something today, and it kind of resonated with me. And I kind of want to get into it. It's the whole reason why we're doing this, right? The 22 a day. But it was an interview on, I think, The Daily Show. She shared it. And it said, in combat, when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, we had lost just over 7,000 soldiers killed in action, right? We have lost 150,000, I think, 180,000 to veteran suicide. We've got to be able to combat that. I think that's one of the biggest problems we face as a community. And I think we're on the right track. I think, you know, through therapy, I think it helps out a lot. But also building communities like we're building here. This isn't just me. So I don't want you to think that I'm sitting here going, oh, Tim's doing a great job, because without you guys, this channel is absolutely nothing. Without these nonprofits, this channel is absolutely nothing. Without the veterans coming in here, the ones that show up every single day, like, I have a big forehead, okay? We all get it, Leonard. By the way, before I get going, happy birthday to Leonard. Leonard's birthday was yesterday. He turned 62. He's almost to his silver sneakers. Happy birthday to Leonard. I know he's going to kill me. But I think once we put the veterans first and we make them a 4-point of our what we're trying to do, and we focus on the veteran, I think there's a lot of good things that'll come out of that. And I think we bring down that 22 a day. I think it's up to us. And I think we're on the right track. And I think we keep on pushing. There's going to be great things that happen. One thing that stood out to me this week was, or last week rather, was we had 2 veterans come into our chat. One of, I got them mixed up there for a little while, but Mike has been, and I don't know if Mike's here tonight. I don't know if Mike's here tonight, but Mike came to us, and I didn't get to spend too much time talking to Mike just because when I'm interviewing these nonprofits, I want to make the sole focus on them and what they're doing in their communities. But he came to us. He felt the way we all do. We all feel isolated or felt isolated, like we couldn't talk to anybody, that we didn't have anybody that understood us. Mike has been in here every single night. There's a different veteran, and I forget his name as well, that I don't know if you remember a certain rally point, but Mikey had, out in Vegas, had reached out to this veteran and was talking to him as well. And Tim Jonesy was talking to him as well. The nicest thing about this community right now is that it's not me. I'm having a hard time even being able to reach out to them because my emails and my messages are going crazy right now. You guys are picking up the slack, which is, I can't thank you enough about that. But I really want to dig into tonight, when we put the veteran first, what's going to happen. And I believe that when we put the veteran first, that number 22 has to come down. It has to. So before I bring on the guest for tonight, which you might recognize his ugly face, but make sure, if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys share what we're doing here. I really think this is going to make a big impact in the veteran community, and I think that we can help out a lot. You know, interviewing these nonprofits, the not feeling alone, that's something every veteran feels. But I want to bring on the guest for tonight, who, like I said, you might recognize his ugly face. Let me get him off of mute here, unfortunately, right? How we doing, Nick?
Oh, doing good, man. Doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah. You know what? You warned me. You said, Tim, you're going to get tired. And buddy, I'm exhausted already. And we're what, 6 episodes in, and I am exhausted. But we're doing a good job. And I know you hate this. You're not going to like it. But a lot of these nonprofits were brought to me by you. And I want to thank you. And this isn't me, trying to put Nick's name out there, because he'll kill me if I do that. But he has brought me a lot of nonprofits that he's been able to connect to. And they're amazing nonprofits. And I'm very thankful that you've done that. Yeah, one thing that I noticed, Nick, this week is that down there in that Baton Rouge area, it's incredible what they're doing. And they work together, which me and you have had conversations about for a while now, about how these nonprofits, if they work together, they'll touch more veterans.
Yeah, man. It's kind of funny how everything worked out. I know you were talking last night or the night before about how you found this podcast at a time that you were hurting, and obviously I've put my story out there. With my depression and PTSD and everything that I deal with, and this podcast came for both of us at a time that we were in pretty bad places. Um, and honestly, man, like, in my walk with Christ and my faith, I feel like I finally know who I am and why I'm here. And I feel like that calling is to help veterans. And I feel like we can do that through this podcast. Um, so, I mean, I've put forth as much effort as I can, and did whatever I can. I feel like we're bringing quality people who are doing quality things, right? It's not just it's not just fluff. It's meat and potatoes, and it feels good to be able to get those people here, let them share their stories. And not only that, man, but like on the backside of this, like we're working together and chipping away at little things here and there, like whatever we can do. Um, so it's been fun. It's been fulfilling. And I have to say, through this whole thing, the thing that makes me the happiest is I stepped out and started a Bible study with a couple guys. Uh, we got the training wheels on it because I don't know for sure. Like I'm no preacher by any means, brother. I'm new to this walk with Christ, but I do know that the Great Commission is to share Him with our brothers and sisters, and who better to share it with than the guys who serve this country. So I feel like my path is clear, and I'm just pushing forward and trying to walk it the best I can.
Yeah, and you're doing one hell of a job. That's the biggest thing. You know, I understand where you come from, but I gotta give you a lot of credit because you're doing a lot. But not only that, the walk that you have had has not been easy, nor has it been easy for anybody, right? I think the proudest moment for me is just seeing the new faces in the chat. And I know that seems very minuscule, but just seeing a face that or a name that you don't know, because that's been our goal since day one, right? Is to reach people outside of our group as well. And I think the more we do, the more names that are going to pop up in that chat. Because every time a new name pops up in the chat, I'm like, thank God we reached another veteran. But I'm supposed to be about part of that Bible study. I haven't been able to come to the last two ones. Nick's been beating me up about it a little bit. No, he hadn't said anything. He understands it. I'm telling you, these last 2 weeks, buddy, I've been. It's taken a lot out of me, but I'm happy about your walk with Christ, and then not only that, but not just keeping it to yourself, bringing us in with you. You had a moment this week where you got to meet up with somebody, a surprise visit from Griff, and I don't know if you guys seen this, but he got surprised this week. Tell us how that went down. I'm interested to hear the backstory. Was it your wife that knew about it? You didn't know about it? How did that go down? Because I was so happy to see that video, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I was exhausted last week because I could tell something was going on. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but I could tell something was going on, and I was way too tired to investigate. And then I got off of work on Friday, and man, my wife had told me, she's like, Friday, I want to take you out to dinner for an early Valentine's Day date. I'm like, okay, cool, right? I get off of work, and I mean I'm exhausted. I go to the ranch, ride horses. I pulled my groin, so my leg is hurting. I'm not in a great way. Like I pulled my groin like 2 weeks ago, so I've been dealing with that. And I'm like, I could just take a shower and get in a recliner and just lazy it up today. But I went on my Valentine's date Well, then I get there before my wife, and she's like, "Hey, I made a reservation for 6:30." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I walk in, I tell the guy, I'm like, "Hey, I got a reservation for 2 at 6:30," and he's like, "No, we don't have a reservation for 2 at 6:30." So he's like, "But we got a table, so you're good." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I sit down, I'm waiting on my wife. And then the guy walks up to the table. He's like, "Hey, man, actually, I'm sorry, but that table's reserved. There's a reservation for 2 out." I'm like, "Yeah, my reservation. What? Like, I agree you have a reservation for 2 at this table. I'm him." Like, so anyways, so I'm like, he's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "No, I'm not mad about it or whatever. Like, you got a place for us to sit though?" And he's like, "Yeah. We got a table over here." He puts me in this booth. It's like a 6-person booth. So I'm like, that makes no sense at all, but
Yeah.
whatever. Like, so we're sitting there talking, and so we're sitting at the table, and we're supposed to be on a Valentine's date, and my wife's playing on the phone the whole time. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, I'm like, did I really come eat exhausted for her to play on the phone the whole time? But she was talking with my sister and like coordinating everything. And then I see Griff walk in, just ugly as ever, you know?
Gray beard and ever. It looked like he had frosted tips, huh?
Yeah, man, I don't know what he got going on there, bro. 48 years old, still not growing a full beard, but no,
All
it was
patchy.
good to see him, man. It was good to see him. So we ate dinner, and then came back to the house and hung out at the house. And then Sunday, so me and my wife went bowling Saturday, just to get out of the house, do something. We're not bowlers by any means, I promise you that. But we went bowling, and then Griff saw we was bowling, so of course Sunday he wanted a bowling competition. I'll let you ask him how that turned out, because I don't want to brag at how bad I beat him, but yeah, so we bowled Sunday and all before he got ready to leave out. So it was cool, man. It was awesome. I've seen more guys. I've seen more guys and talked to more guys since this podcast has started and we started the group and all than I than I have over the last 20 years. So if we can impact other veterans the way that it has impacted me, then we're making great strides. Man, I just want to encourage guys to reach out, and pull those bonds back in. Like, you know, it, it's important, man. Like, there's a hole in us from our brothers that we don't see anymore that you might not realize is there. But I guarantee you, if you get with them for the weekend, when you tell them bye on Sunday, you'll feel it then. So.
Yeah, you guys gave me a FaceTime call, and it was fun, man. I'm telling you, me and Griff. So if you've never, which most of you have, but if you guys have never been around military people before that have served with each other, all we do is make fun of each other the entire time. So when I seen Griff on the FaceTime, it just was immediately making fun of each other. That's all it was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, same here, man. But it's hard not to make fun of like a 6'2" Steve Urkel, though. You know what I mean? Like it comes naturally, you know.
I never thought of him like that. That you put
Hey,
him in a go ahead.
plus on top of that, Griff, when we were in the military, Griff was like Batman armor built. Like, the dude was built, bro. I've never
Yeah.
seen somebody who did not work out at all have so many muscles. He was born with extra muscles, but
For no reason whatsoever.
my biceps are bigger than his now, so that makes me happy too.
I'll tell you something. It's so much fun because I look at that and being from on the outside looking in, like seeing that video that you posted just brought a smile to my face. And then your sister FaceTimed me, and I was like, why is she FaceTiming me right now? And I didn't answer it, and I messaged her. I was like, was that an accident? She was like, no, me and Griff were going to mess with you. I'm like, okay, perfect. That makes sense now. that
Yeah.
makes more sense. But, one thing that I'm looking forward to, and a lot of you guys don't know this. Nick and I really didn't get to know each other until Germany. I maybe talked to you a handful of times when we were in Iraq, but then when we got to Germany, I mean, it was like we were best friends. And then we got to San Antonio, had a lot of fun, and then back at Riley with the warrior training, we were on two different paths when it came to that. But come August will be the first time that I get to see this ugly face in what 20 years. I mean,
Yeah.
it, and his family too. And I don't want to forget to mention them because you have an incredible family. I got to meet your mom and your sister, and they treated me like family, and they always do. That's how I got my gumbo recipe, Casey. Um, but it is bringing a lot of us back together. And here's the other thing: in June, my cousin is my uncle is having his nonprofit, like I think it's a poker run, and Lions driving down from New York to come to it, which is,
Yeah.
dude. He said he was going to do that, and it just made my day because I'm going to get to see him and get to introduce him. It's like bringing two worlds together, right?
Yeah, and Tim, like the thing about it is, if we can get our veterans to have this helping, commingling mindset, then we can literally, we're the only people in the world that can say we can literally raise an army to combat what our veterans are going through right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, there, to me, there's no excuse why we can't pull each other back together and start getting some of this straightened out ourselves. But I wanted to bring up, you were talking about how many veterans we lost stateside compared to how many soldiers we lost across the pond. And a big issue with that, and something I've been talking about with a lot of different guys, is it's a failure in what a man is supposed to be, how we're taught what a man is supposed to be, right? Like, the worldly view of what a man is supposed to be is this lone wolf who gets everything done on his own, doesn't reach out for help, this mountain figure, right?
Yeah.
And that's all fun and games to look like that on the outside, but that does absolutely nothing to fix what's on the inside. The truth of the matter is that we're supposed to be humble, right? We're supposed to rely on each other in our shortfalls to help carry us. This stuff has been written since the Bible existed, what a
Yeah.
man is supposed to look like, and society has taken that and completely flipped it around. And the freedom that I've found in being vulnerable and talking about my problems has made me stronger than I ever could have been faking like I was feeling good. You know what I mean?
Uh,
And
you have a great point. Absolutely great point. And you know, you couple that with even in the military, right? Where you're taught to just suppress it and move on. Plus, society's view on a man is to, keep pushing. So you got double the whatever it may be stigma, I guess, of what you should be. And I'll tell you this: in since August, you guys brought me out of a very dark place, which I know this channel's done it for a lot of you guys as well. Um, but relying on you guys and leaning on you guys in my weak spots has been so rewarding to me, and it really does feel like a family again, which I'm missing personally. I mean, most of my family has died off, unfortunately, but you guys have, anytime I need to talk or I need something or somebody needs something, there's always somebody there to step up, and it's an incredible feeling, man.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see guys change their mind on that and reach out for help when they're hurting. Like, I mean, what could you teach a person worse than when you're hurting, hide it and deal with it yourself? Like, I mean, it's terrible. It's a terrible message we've sent, especially to our men. Fortunately, we haven't brainwashed our women. They're a little bit better at reaching out and talking with each other about their problems. Maybe too good at some points, some would say. But
Those are Nick's words, not mine.
But seriously, though, man, yeah,
Yeah.
we've done a disservice to the men of this country by feeding them this line that they have to stand by themselves. It's just not the truth. Um, and I think if we can correct that perspective, then we can help a lot of people. So
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, right? One of the biggest things that I have seen in this community so far is what speaking out can do. You were my very first episode. I had Sergeant Smith on there and Mac, and the amount of help that this is given. Just the first 3 episodes, these guys are involved. These guys are making an effort to get better, and myself included with that, because here's the reality. I might be asking the questions, but this has benefited me as much as it has them, if not more, to be honest with you, because I'm getting to talk to every single one of you guys. But the amount of good that this is doing, and now couple it with these incredible nonprofits that we're bringing on here, dude, I think we're on the right track. And I think we keep pushing through this, we are going to see this do very big things, and I'm excited about it. One of my favorite moments this week was getting to talk to Miss Christie. If you be our soldier outreach, right? I absolutely love talking to her. She didn't know what she was doing technology wise, but she was so nervous. She sent me an email and was like, "Thank you so much for being calm about it all." But the work that these nonprofits are doing is incredible. Coupled with what we're doing, I think it's a recipe for success, to be honest with you.
yeah, being connected with like Books for Boots, right? We were talking about the books and the things that they supply, and I just asked, like, what do you guys need the most? And of course, funds is always going to be for a grassroots. But the second thing was we're looking for more places to plant these books and help soldiers and veterans. And that struck me personally because at one of the toughest points in my life, one of the things I looked for was a book, and there was no books there, right? And so I mentioned that, and now we're looking at putting books in the New Orleans VA at the mental ward. And then when I reached out today, I asked, "Is there anything else that you guys need?" And then they mentioned, "Yeah, we take donations on clothes." And then it registered. I mean, it was a traumatic time. Like, this is just coming back to me as it's being said to me. But man, I was stuck in my work pants and my work shirt for the 3 days I was there or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I would have killed for a pair of sweatpants. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so we're gonna pair that up with the books, and then I'm gonna be looking into, and of course, they've already offered to help with acquiring clothes. So I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. We're just building a
Network.
train that's gonna be hard to stop. So
And it goes back to exactly what we had said in the very beginning. When you put the veteran first, when that's what you're caring about, that I'm telling you, there is nothing but success at the end of that tunnel. And there really isn't an end to the tunnel, to be honest with you. but you're going to see a lot more success. And I've said this is you're probably never going to bring that number down to zero. But what we can do is we can be a part of a movement to bring that number down. And there's no better way than to take a look at what's going down, or what's going on rather, down there in Baton Rouge. You ladies, and I'm not going to leave Emmerich out on this either, absolutely incredible. And Barnside Brotherhood is another one. You guys are doing it right. And if the whole country took a piece of what Baton Rouge is doing down in Louisiana in general, I think it would be a lot better of a situation that we're in, because they're doing incredible down there.
Man, I want to share a story with you. So in Port Allen, which is just across the bridge from Baton Rouge, right across the Mississippi River, as the crow flies, maybe 5 miles, and there was a veteran there, a Korean War veteran, whose home was about to get condemned, and they had a city council meeting, and during the meeting, they were talking to this veteran about getting his place cleaned up. They had already asked him to clean it up, and then he ended up in the hospital and stuff. And I'm going to be honest, man, this veteran's in no way in the shape to be cleaning up this yard and taking care of this house. Like, what was needed was never going to be achievable by him. And then there was a police officer who was attending the meeting. I believe he was working security there from the look of things. This is just an assumption on my part, but I mean, he was in full uniform attending the meeting. And he basically stopped the conversation, man. He was like, hey, look, I'm part of a veteran motorcycle organization. We take care of veterans. Like, can you extend the amount of time he gets to take care of this house? And we're going to see what we can do to help him. Dude, when I tell you, they've done the roof, they've cleaned the yard, they've hauled off the vehicles, they're on the inside of the house doing things that the city can't see. They've gone above and beyond repairing this thing to a point where it doesn't get condemned. They are gutting this house and providing this veteran with a place to spend the rest of his life that it can be comfortable, that is his. Right? To the point to where when they ask for help, they got to do a sign-in sheet and they post, hey, we need help. And then you look 2 hours later and they're like, sign-in sheet's full. We're not taking any more help. Please do not show up. And it's wild, man. Like, it's a great community that we live in. There's just so much. There's so many veterans that need help, man. Our older generation of veterans, the ones who came back and got spit on, the ones who didn't have these organizations, you know what I mean? The ones who worked in the days where you worked till your hands were brittle, and now these guys are getting old and they're not able to take care of their place. And our generation needs to step up and help these guys out, because before you know it, we're going to be those guys. I mean, you're bald already.
I didn't start turning gray till I was, I think, 38. How old are you, Nick?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Let me scratch my head. I'm 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you are 110% right, because what we've done here is we've let the last 20 years go by the wayside, and we have a whole new generation of veterans that are going to need help, because the World War II veterans, unfortunately, there isn't very many of them left. But those Vietnam vets, they've done something for us, and we need to repay that. Now, what they did for us, if you guys aren't aware, which you should be, they made it to where we didn't get the treatment that they got when they came back. And thank God for that. A quick story here. I was coming back, and it just popped into my head because you mentioned it, and I was back. I was coming back. I think it was on Christmas block leave from Riley or something, and I was in my uniform. And I went to get something to eat at, I think, Hardee's. And I was getting my drink, and a guy came up beside me and was like, "Hey, I paid for everything." I just looked at him and I was like, "Well, thank you." I mean, you get that every once in a while, but he goes, "It's my generation's job to make sure that you don't go through what we went through." When you go through something like what they went through, being spit on, being called every name in the book, we're not even going to mention that. And then you turn around and you say, "You know what? The veterans behind me are going to get treated better than me." That's, I mean, what more can you say? We owe them our time, our effort, but we also owe ourselves that time and effort to put into each other to make sure that we have a community where we can come to and we know to talk and coming together to end that number 22 or reduce it.
Yeah, man, and hats off to those guys. They went through a living hell over there. I can't even begin to fathom what our Vietnam veterans dealt with in that place. I won't even pretend to have an understanding of that experience. So hats off to those guys. We definitely appreciate them paving the way for us. And, this is our initiative and how we're moving forward with paving the way for the next group of veterans.
Yeah.
That's
It's
our
only
duty,
way.
man.
Yeah, but Nick, I think we took the last 20 years off, right? And we dealt with the isolation, the depression. We've dealt with, in some cases, addiction, which hits the veteran community very hard. And there's different reasons for that. Maybe on a different rally point, we'll address that. But now at least our group has come together and seen how much better life is when you're relying on those people that were to your left and your right and your six when you were in the worst time of your life. And I know a lot of us veterans will sit here and say, "I'd go back in a heartbeat," which a lot of us would, but it was still probably the hardest time in our lives. It's just my thought, man.
Yeah. I saw Erica posted in the chat to look up Veterans Last Patrol, and she said, "I just received a number from my most local hospice center that sets up volunteers." I'm building a picture of what that looks like in my head, and hats off to anybody who takes on that burden for sure. But if anybody's interested, I've never heard of it, so I figured we'd share it while I was up. But I appreciate that, Eric.
Maybe we can take a look into that as well, and because that's incredible. We have a lot of newer people joining our community too. We have a lot of these nonprofits that. I have somebody named Harley in here. Do you know Harley? Harley.
Yeah, Harley helps out with Gulf Coast Veterans. He's a sponsor of Gulf Coast Veterans. I believe he's going to kill me right now. I'm going to go to his about on Facebook real quick. Okay, Kentucky. So I don't know if you know this or not, but Kentucky and Tennessee people do not get along, and calling them the opposite of what they are does not go over well. So I never knew that until just recently. I went up to Kentucky. And also, they think everybody from Louisiana stabs people in bars. So that's the two things I learned about what's in Kentucky.
I don't know. Is anybody? Hold on one second, Nick. I think you're cutting up really bad. Can everybody hear Nick okay? Or is it just on my end? I know he said it. You said he was from Kentucky. There you are. It's at Louisiana. We got to fix the internet down there in Louisiana.
You got me.
But no, the biggest thing, here's Leonard. Leonard said, they do that here. You can volunteer to go and sit down with a vet on hospice and close to his last stage just to talk to them vet to vet. I want to tell you something. Anybody that volunteers to do that, hats off to you, because that takes a lot. I'll be honest with you, Nick. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Can you? Is your internet good now?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Because you're coming through pretty staticky.
I think your internet's going out. What we'll do is there anything else that you want to go over tonight? Because I don't know if it's your internet or my internet or what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Man, no, I just think that, the mission is clear. What we're trying to accomplish is clear. And we're getting some really good people and some really good organizations out there. Their stories, what they're doing for veterans. And not only that, but at the end of the day, they're connecting to each other and we're all helping each other out. And that was the idea from the beginning of this, was to bring a community together. So I just want to encourage people from, different parts of the country to get out there and build these communities local for them. You know what I mean? Like step up and take that burden on and start driving the mission in your areas. Man, there's good people all over this country. I've been all over it. We are special in Louisiana, and we will always say that. But there's good people all over the country, and it can be replicated everywhere.
You're really choppy there, but just so everybody knows, Nick, what he was trying to say at the end of that was the Buckeyes have the best college football team Nick has ever seen. I know it was choppy. He said he wanted to wear the scarlet and gray and not purple and yellow. That's exactly what came out of his mouth. You don't have to ask him or anything like that. But no, in all actuality, you're 100% right. What we're doing matters, and what we're trying to do is get out and really get out in your community. Volunteer to these places, because if you're a veteran and you're not, trying to help your own, we need to do better. And it takes every single one of us taking time out of our day. That's how we're going to change this. We need to look out for each other. We need to come together. We need to do better, because don't forget, there's a generation after us as well. And they need to come into this a lot better than what we did. And to be honest with you, the Vietnam vets set it up pretty well for us. Hopefully you're doing better over there, Nick. Did you say scarlet and gray? He's over there typing out something crazy. I know he is. But Nick, I'm going to let you go, buddy. Tonight has been, I want to tell you something about Nick, and it's probably good that he is having static, because he hates when anybody talking about him, which is okay. But Nick has been in the background doing these nonprofits and helping me out a lot. But not only that, but Nick is one of those guys that, if I have an idea to bounce off of somebody, Nick is right there to give me his opinion and what he thinks about it. And every single one of these guys are the same way. That Leonard. Hey, you always have to wonder. You always count on Leonard to give you crap, I'll tell you what. But, Nick, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I appreciate you, buddy. He can't. Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me, can you? All right. Well, we're going to let Nick go. Nick, I love you. We'll talk to you soon, bud. It's that Louisiana. I'm telling you, it's that Louisiana internet. I'm just giving him crap. Listen, guys. One thing that me and Nick have talked since day one about is bringing the veteran community together and seeing what we can do. Because I'll be honest with you, you have a group from the 72nd that I might be kind of biased, but we were great. And when we put our minds together, we can do anything. We can achieve anything. Couple that with the incredible nonprofits that we have spotlighted so far. I mean, we're only 6 episodes in, but not only that, but the people that we brought onto the rally point. Couple that with those nonprofits has been it's been incredible just to hear the story. You look at, what they're doing down in Louisiana, but we had, Big Jim from San Antonio. We had Dallas Knight from Montana. It has been incredible. We got some special ones coming up. Bear with me, guys. I promise you we will get to 22. I promise you guys we will get to 22. It might not be in consecutive days. I'm sorry about that. I can't help with the schedule. But the bigger this platform gets, the bigger our name gets out there, I promise you we will we'll be able to do it. Because this isn't the last time I'm going to do the 22 and 22. One thing that I don't know if you guys have been on it or not. I wanted to share this with you guys. Let me go to it real quick and then share my screen. If you guys are wondering where some of these resources are, see, you guys thought that I didn't see that I didn't have my microphone set up on that, but I fixed it. That's the engineer in me. But anyways, the website we have set up, no thanks to me, because I did none of this. This is what I mean about a community coming together. The website can be found at operationintel.org, where we have some of the resources down here that we have went through and spotlighted. These are some of the best organizations that we have and some of the resources that we have, and it's not showing anything other than that. Give me 1 second here. That was the website, and I'm messing this all up. Don't worry about me. It's been about 2 weeks. But that was our website at operationintel.org. We have some more resources to upload there, but Tim has been doing one heck of a job with this website. Go to it. Not only go to it, but take a look around. I mean, the amount of time and effort that Tim put into this website, I couldn't have done it myself, is incredible. Another thing is this. And let me get something set up here. I want to show you guys this. Okay. So what we did a while back was we started a store, and it shows some of our merch and stuff, the Operation Intel hoodie, the shirts, and then the Battle of Bakuba, which, if the QR code is working, the front of the shirt is a QR code, and it takes you straight to the Facebook page, the Facebook community. The one in the black, the QR code on the arm takes you to the YouTube channel. Getting ready to update some more merch and stuff like that. I want to do something about the 22 and 22. I think that has a powerful message behind it. But you can find that on the Facebook page as well. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of hands behind the scenes. So I know you guys have heard me thank these guys 1,000,001 times, but these guys are the ones that are the backbone of even this platform. I get the luxury of talking to everybody on camera, but these guys are the backbone of this. I also want to thank every single one of the nonprofits that came on in the last week and also messaged me. I haven't got to reach out to a lot of them just to thank them for being on the show. But it really does mean a lot, because a lot of you, some are veterans, some are not. But we have the same mission. The same mission is this. We want to end the 22 a day. That's it. And we want to leave this to the next generation knowing what to do. Knowing not to go 20 years without talking. Knowing not to isolate yourself. Not turning to alcohol and drugs. And really do this in a healthy way. Reach out. Talk to somebody. We want to leave that next generation a better place than what we came into. And we came into a lot better than what Vietnam had. So, that been having problems with my voice. LT, thank you. I appreciate it. I want to tell you something else. These guys that you guys see, and this is just me to you. LT is one of them. And when I first started doing this, I didn't know how to podcast. I didn't know how to start a show. I didn't know about lighting. I didn't know about cameras. I didn't know about microphones. All I knew was I needed something. And I kind of figured that other veterans did as well. And all these guys kept encouraging me. And one of the main ones was LT, Jesse Hunyon. He always told me what I could do better, but he always told me I was doing great. And he still to this day does. If I have a problem, he's the first one of the first ones to be like, okay, let's figure this out. You guys have helped me out tremendously. And I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. The people that view our content and our lives and really are buying into this to end the number 22 is amazing. But it not only does that, but it gives us a place to come in. The rally point was designed for us to come together as a community on Sunday nights. And without you guys, it would not be a community. So I wanted to thank you guys, even, Casey, even though she gives me a lot of crap. But I'm doing it wrong. Ronald Reagan said it so well. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Ronald Reagan. You know what? You guys have taught Ray too much. Ray, I've never even talked to you and you're giving me crap. I'm telling you what, you guys, I love you to death. But my bald head is beautiful, okay? It absolutely is beautiful. And yeah, I know. I'm going gray. I'm going back to the rich brown at some point, I think. And I'm going to put a thing just for men right here. Hopefully they give me a sponsorship, right? But no, in all seriousness, guys, thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart because, you know, we see each other as a huge community, but you don't know what you've done for me. And you've taught me how to be a better person. You've taught me, you know, patience again. And it's something that I lacked. But this has helped me out just as much as it's helped you out. And I thought that I needed to say thank you because this show would be nothing without each and every single one of you doing this. So, hey, man, listen, I have the easy job. I get to sit back and talk to people and, you know, listen. I think my dad taught me something at a young age, which has served me well, you know, when it comes to sales. And it's now serving me well here because I love to talk. But he always told me, he said, Tim, you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. You need to be listening twice as much as you're talking. And when you do that, you're going to learn a lot. So, just a little advice from my father, who passed away 2 years ago on the 3rd, and that was a tough day. But you guys made it a lot better. I think one of our 22 and 22s was that day, which was incredible because it kept my mind busy. So thank you for that. But listen, guys, sorry about not having a nonprofit on tonight. I will get another one out. I have a really good one tomorrow, and I got another one on Friday. Next week will be packed as well. I'm really looking forward to this. I really am. We are going to do great things together. Remember this. When you put the veteran first, no matter if you're a nonprofit or you're a veteran yourself, when you put the veteran first, good things will happen. You'll get. I'll tell you where I'm going with this, because I got kind of sidetracked there. But when you put the veteran first, and this is something I said to Denise, and Denise and me both agreed on this last night, because I was telling her I was like my hopes and my dreams and my goals for this channel. And my goal is to put you guys first. When I put you guys first, all my goals for this channel will be hit. And same thing goes if you're a veteran out there listening to this. Same thing goes if you're a nonprofit out there listening to this. If you put that veteran first, your goals will be hit. And I think we have an obligation, like Nick said, to really be there for each other. So, might have you one you can feature. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate you. Listen, guys, tomorrow we're back at it. I wanted to bring you guys a rally point since I wasn't bringing you a 22 and 22. I hope you guys, the new viewers, it's a little bit different of a feel at the rally point. So I wanted to give you guys that tonight because I know we missed it on Sunday. But I have my eyes on having a room with 300 plus. Before I get off of here. So I promise you, Denise, you do not want me speaking in front of 300 people, I'm good in front of this camera. There's going to be a lot of uhs and ums, but I'd be more than happy to and my way through it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not only looking forward to that, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys whenever that may be. But thank you guys so much. Jason, you're killing me here, man. You're encouraging it. But listen, guys, I want to tell you guys I love you guys. I'll be back at it. I will be back at it tomorrow. Thank you guys again for tuning into the Rally Point. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.